Hi everyone, this is Stephen with iFoundAgent, and I just wanted to do a quick overview of the forms that you have in your website. So your website actually contains many forms. Usually at least 4 different forms are in your website. If you've ever played with some forms, maybe you have a lot more. This demo site has a lot just because it's a demo site. A lot of us use it and play around with it and whatnot. So to find your forms, you would log into the back end of your website and click the forms menu item over here. So let me just show you what that looks like from the dashboard. I've just logged in and now I go over to forms. If I just click on it, it'll show me every form here. And it gives me some good information up front. It tells me what the form's title is, address capture, the ID number of the form, which isn't really as important to you, but it is important for other functions. Um, Entries tell me how many people actually gave me information on this form. How effective was it, right? Views, how many people actually saw the form, so how many times was this form loaded on any page? And then conversion percentage, again, is more about like how effective was that. So if you can see, the address capture form, there's no entries in here. It may not be the one that's being used currently, but either way, this is without really knowing it, but this is like the first part of the what's your home worth functionality is the address capture form. We don't have any here because we don't advertise it and don't look for it. But then it goes over to the current market comparison form, and I can see that I've had 4 entries, and it tells me like here's my conversion percentage, right? So that's kind of how that works. Every form, you can edit any of the forms here. I do advise a little bit of precaution. You can also create any amount of forms on your website. Creating forms is really, really important if you start doing any sort of online lead capture. If you want to make a landing page of any sort, the form is like the meat and potatoes of it does all that functionality where it grabs the information and then goes from there. So in this video, I just wanted to give you a quick overview of where your forms are. If you want to check to see who entered their information, you can go over, like, here's my contact form. There's a little button that says entries here, or I can just click on the number of entries in this column as well. So if I just click on that, and then all of a sudden, I'll have, here's everybody that entered information for my contact form. And it was Dale, just doing some tests. You can also edit these forms. So if you notice a form has a required field and you don't want it to be required anymore, you can actually just click on the form field name. And now you're in this interface where you have all your different fields, and you can edit this form as you want. Again, advise a word of precaution here. If you are messing with a form that is a form that's intricate to the system, you could mess with the same thing. So you probably don't want to edit the forms that are in place too much. What I do recommend is that if you want to make your own custom form, is that you copy a good form. And actually, one of the best ones to copy from is this registration form. And the reason why we want to copy this is because, these forms also integrate into the CRM, into this system, and it also ties into any third-party integrations that we may have, like LionDesk. So you want to duplicate the form first before you really before editing one live. So I just hit a duplicate button. That how it comes up when I hover over this registration form, and it came up with a new one, just registration form 1. So if I want to go ahead and edit this form, I can. So if I just click on it, I can change the title by clicking here and just saying my new form. And the reason why I copied it, the most important thing, is just because the fields are set up in the correct order, and again, they're set up in a way that the integration, I know the integration will just follow suit because I'm using a good version. So if I wanted to change the name of these fields, I could change this to say full name, and I could use that. If I just click on it, if you can see, once I click on it, I get a lot more options. There's an option whether it's required or not. I can toggle that. I can take that off. Uh, Editing forms and playing with forms is a little more advanced, so You may want to just play around with it and kind of get familiar, ask some questions. We should be adding more videos in the future about this kind of stuff. Um, but there's a lot of different options in here. If you want to add more fields to your form, you can use these fields over here on the right hand side. So we have standard set of fields like just a plain line of text, a drop down menu, a radio button options. Advanced fields are here. So if you wanted their mailing address, you can actually just drag and drop where you want it, and now I have an address field collecting their full address. So if you can kind of get an idea, that's how that works. A lot of this is you playing with it and getting familiar with it. As I said, we do want to copy over a good form before we start making a new one, just for the integration purposes. So if you don't need a field in here, like this field says, what else should we know? That probably has no context for another field that we want to create. You can delete this field, or even better yet, I would actually just recommend going under Advanced and just saying Hidden. We just basically hidden means nobody's going to see it. Same thing with the URL. I think this one was already a hidden. Oh, this is already a hidden field, so you just don't even need to delete it. If you do want to delete the field, you can click the little X here, and it asks, "Are you sure?" Yep. And then I want to delete it. This one, yep, I want to delete it. Okay. So we can update this field whenever we'd like, and now it's saved. And in a continuation video, I'm going to show you about more settings on forms. So thank you for watching.